Okay.
And who specifically told you the entire file had been stolen?
Ingo Brower.
But you don't trust him. He's corrupt. He's rotten.
Okay.
Well, at the same time, the Public Defender's Office declared a conflict of interest, and that's why I'm not represented by the Public Defender's Office. Now I'm represented by the Alternate Defender's Office. I'm the only person I know in 5 years of being incarcerated that is represented by the Alternate Defender's Office that doesn't have a co-defendant. Normally when people, say 3 people are charged with a bank robbery, all 3 people can't be represented by the Public Defender's Office because it's a conflict of interest. So one will get a public defender, one will get an alternate defender, and then they'll hire a private attorney for the third. I am the only person represented by the Alternate Defender's Office, and the reason I'm defended by the Alternate Defender's Office is because they declared a conflict of interest after that entire file was stolen from the Public Defender's Office.
In November of 02?
Yes.
Okay.
No, November of 2001.
Oh, okay. November
Okay.
2001.
Trying to trick me up, Counselor?
No.
Okay,
No,
so-
you're sharp.
Goes to my point. You are sharp.
You are sharp.
You're sharp. You get it. You understand how to do legal research.
Not really.
Not really.
I'm not an attorney. I'm a way better attorney than 99 other people in here, but I'm not. I didn't go to law school. I don't have anything to do legal research. They took all the books out of the law library.
Are they still gone?
Oh yeah. Not only that, but I complained in court 2 weeks ago that they were deleting everybody's files from the word processor. You know their solution? They took the word processor out last week.
So you have no word processor. Okay.
That's their solution.
So you have no word processor.
Now here's another.
It's an empty room with shelves, nothing on the shelf. There's two desks and a chair.
Why couldn't we have done the interview there?
Because you get footage of the empty shelves.
And that's why they didn't want it to take place.
Okay. So here's something I brought up to David Epps. And I love David Epps and I wanted him to represent you. Here's what I brought up. I said, why don't we get you out on your own recognizance? Now apparently your ex-wife has made some objection to that. I'm talking to the district attorney about that because you've already served what you would normally serve even if you had felony convictions.
Right.
So, you know, you're done. You get out. Basically, I don't know if Lopez told you this, but he said that when I asked you if you were incompetent, that you would say yes. That you would say that you needed to be there.
You would say that you needed to be in the mental hospital.
Oh,
You
he can
needed
hear
to
me.
be.
Lopez said that?
Lopez said
Yeah,
that.
Lopez said that.
Lopez, I also talked to David Epps about getting you out on your own recognizance. Lopez said there was something about that, some new evidence that your ex-wife had produced, and some tape. What's the tape?
I have no idea.
Okay. Because when we talked to Emmerich, you know, he said that you made, Emmerich, he said that you made some threats to the ex-wife, and it would be one thing if she had a tape of that, but she didn't. And so I know the tape isn't you making any threats, because he couldn't tell me what it was, but he certainly inferred later on that she didn't have a tape of you making threats, so I can infer that the tape is something else.
Well, and the tape is new to me, and it was new to Emmerich also.
Right.
You'll notice that the district attorney is playing like he's upset that the trial is not happening.
No,
I
he's
think
upset.
He's ashamed. I
No,
think
he's
embarrassed.
upset because he does not want this trial to go forward. He is like, he wants this thing off his desk, away from him. He does not, he's been really nice to me. He's agreed to talk to me. He's agreed to do an interview, but he wants this case gone like in the worst possible way.
Nobody we've talked to wants this case to happen.
He does not want to try this case.
They want you to just plead guilty.
Let me put it this way.
Yeah.
In court, he has said that the prosecution was ready to go back in October.
I know.
And Emmerich didn't speak up for himself, but he had just found out about the tape a few days before.
Right.
And they had deliberately withheld that.
Right.
And, my position is that we'll go to trial just as soon as you give us a true transcript give us a true transcript, give us a few months to put our witnesses together, give me a few months to get my hypothyroidism stabilized, and I'm happy to go to trial.
Well, this is my issue. I do not believe that you are going to be ever adequately represented while you're in here. Like you said, you don't have access to a law library. You can't assist your counsel in terms of overseeing what they're doing. I mean, when my husband was in the middle of this, I literally did 80 hours a week.
Pardon?
When my husband was in the middle of all this, it was a child support issue, no abuse, but I literally worked 80 hours a week, and that's what it took to get in and out in 2 years. And if you don't do the effort and know the stuff to keep tabs on your attorney, things can get away from you. Things will go over your head that you don't understand. Like, I understand what the district attorney was doing. When he objected to me taping, he didn't want me to tape your interview because he said, I think it's for an alternate purpose. I think she's going to try and get him a private attorney. He's doing his job, I get it. He was being very effective. But when I talked to him, he does not want this trial to go forward. He's happy you're waiving time. Huh?
You haven't said his name.
Oh, because I can't remember his name. The tall, dark, and handsome one. Gibbons Shapiro.
Gibbons Shapiro.
James Gibbons Shapiro.
Yeah, the guy that covers his face when I was doing the first thing.
He so doesn't want to go to trial.
He does not want to be identified.
Understand why? Because what he's doing is illegal. He knows that the transcript is falsified. And by him even keeping me here, he becomes part and parcel of the fraud, aiding and abetting a child abuse after the fact. And it's not a joke.
No, I know that. He doesn't want to do it. So my thing is, I'm trying to get them to agree.
Why don't you interview the district attorney?
We're going to try. We are.
He's already said yes.
We're going to do that. Why would?
But I don't know if it's going to be before or after the trial. It depends on their.
Talking about George Kennedy.
Oh, you mean
George Kennedy?
Yes.
Why do I get the feeling he'll run away from me? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Why do you want to talk to the little rats?
Because the little rats know what's going on.
The little rats are embarrassed.
Doing what the big rats are telling them.
Okay.
And you can say I'm doing what the big rats are telling me. But my issue is, why can't we get you? Can you push Lopez? It's a 2-day hearing. I already talked to David Epps. It's a 2-day noticed hearing on a motion to release you. They have set your bail in excess of your ability to pay. You've already served what you would normally serve. What?
They already had a hearing back in the summer, and I had an interview with Terry Lawley of Pretrial Services to see if I could be released on my own recognizance.
Okay.
And basically, they said no. She's scared. She says she's scared for her life. You know, it doesn't matter that everybody knows that she's lying. They can use that as a pretense to keep me in.
But why would they want to keep you in at this point? I mean,
you don't understand that?
No. Well, no. Here's why I don't understand it.
Go explain.
Wait. No. Here's why I don't understand it. You are not a big, strong, strapping He-Man. You are in.
Shucks, thanks, man.
I'm sorry, but you're in prison with guys. I assume there's exercise equipment in there with lots of muscles and shivs, who might have been in there because, oh, I don't know, they bludgeoned somebody to death in a drunken brawl. You're not in a nice place. If they didn't want you to talk, you wouldn't be talking to me now. So what's the problem with you getting out?
They want to keep me in here because it's very difficult to fight my case. You have to get permission from them to come in here and talk. And I'm going to take credit for this because this is what I've visualized happening for years now. And that is to split individuals off, like Judge Erica Yu, who don't want to be caught up in being found guilty of using the system, the power of government, through fraud to attack children. This is the beginning. It's like a very steep mountain, and I'm rolling. I have been trying to roll a boulder up this hill. Sisyphus. Yes. Hopefully not Sisyphus. Hopefully I get it to the top, and because once it gets to that certain point, the tipping point, and I get it over, of its own accord, it's its inertia will carry it. And you're talking about when it gets out in public and people find out what's going on. This has been my goal and my vision is to slowly turn it and to get people within the system to back away and more get people to say, okay, Judge Erica, you stood up and said, okay, he can have an interview, and she's still around. Maybe, and they got the interview and it's out in public, maybe if I go and tell what I know about this, maybe I'll be protected. Because the protection of witnesses in this case is very important. People need to know that they're not going to be hurt if they come forward.